MK, and I am joining Sarah and Rebecca for a Paw Your Way into Our Hearts layout, and I'm also playing along with the prompts for Scraptember 2023, and today's prompt is wood veneer, so that I don't have a problem using. Alright, I decided to use these cloud puffy stickers, but because they have yellowed over time, I went ahead and colored them in this Daffodil Delight by Stampin' Up. It's just an alcohol marker. So I'm going to use that as my title. I also have, these floral pieces that came in the March embellishment box. I have this ribbon and concho that also came in the February embellishment box. All of these boxes came from Some Assemblage Required. I have these brown tickets that came from the June embellishment box. There's my puppy, who is always at my feet. I have these delicate florals, and these ones are actually, one of them's a full set, and then the other ones are broken pieces. So I'm showing you guys the full set, and then these are the broken pieces that I have, also from Some Assemblage Required. And then I have 3 pieces from the Delicate Fronds, Fronds, set. I'm not sure if I'm going to add those or not, but I thought they were a cool addition to the Delicate Florals. And then from the it's August, I apologize, the August embellishment box, I have these film strips that I would like to use up. Now I'm going to use this white cardstock, and I'm going to distress it using Coloring's No Yoking, Coloring's Little Yellow School Bus, and Color Splash Squeeze the Day. Each one of them have a property all on their own that's going to give a cool background to my layout, and then that way it's not so plain Jane and white. So I'm going to trim it down to 8.5 by 11. I'm getting down to the nitty-gritty portions of my 2021 album, which is super exciting, but it is such a huge album. I've been working on it for almost all year, and normally I worked on it last year and this year, and normally I'm done with it, and I've already started 2022's in March of 2023, so I'm usually only a year behind, but this album was so big, and we did so much trying to make up for the lack of being able to do anything in 2020. So I'm super excited. So most of the layouts that I have for, I would say a good part of the rest of the year and maybe into next year are pocket pages and 8.5 by 11s, but I do have a couple 12 by 12s still hidden away for specific assignments, I should say. All right, so I am taking Little Yellow School Bus, and I am dipping it. No, that was no yoking. Yes, it was Little Yellow School Bus. Wait a minute. That was no yoking. This is Little Yellow School Bus, and I am just trying to blend my yellows together to get the correct shade that is in the flowers that are in my package. So they are paper flowers, but they definitely don't look like paper flowers, and that is going to be my photo mat for around my puppy. I don't bring any pattern paper whatsoever in because I really have a ton of these elements, the film strips and the tickets and all this stuff. Even though I only get a small portion of them in the embellishment box, in the embellishment boxes, they tend to add up, and I only use a little bit here and there. I might only use half of a film strip, something like that. So I do end up using quite a bit, I do end up having quite a bit left over, and so I really wanted to do a layout that, helps me use a lot of these elements up. So I'm going to go ahead and stagger my film strips down, and then what I was thinking is inside each little film, do something with the flowers and the florals and the wood veneer and the tickets and whatnot. But I do end up changing my mind because I have another spray accident. Yeah, as if one this month wasn't enough, I end up with another one. So I'm picking out the tickets that I feel like would go with my layout. It's my puppy. He is always at my feet. As soon as I stop and I stand or sit for a long time, he is laying right next to me, behind me, on top of me. he is always there. He doesn't necessarily always have to touch me, but he is always there. This one happens to be in late October, early November, and it's rather cold. And where I am standing, the heating vent is there underneath the sink. And so he likes to lay on the mat and have that heat blowing up on him. So that's why he is where he is, because I'm standing waiting for the children to get on the bus. And he just decided, well, if you're going to stay there for that long, then so am I. So he makes himself comfortable. All right. So I'm not sure if you guys saw that or not, but the lid popped off, the spray nozzle portion popped off of my spray bottle and rolled onto my layout. Oh my gosh. I just need to stop playing with spray bottles for the rest of the month, because clearly they're not working for me. So I have to alter my plan ever so slightly of what I was going to do. Like I said, I was going to inside each little film do something with the wood veneer, the flower, and the tickets that I picked out. And then, of course, my photo is going to cover up 2 or 3 of them, so I don't have to worry about those. And then the half ones that are falling off the page, I'm not going to worry about those either. So I didn't have a whole lot to play in, but that was my idea. That was what I had going through my brain until I got a big old green blob on my layout that now I have to cover up. So I decided to go ahead and use my, I still don't have any fun foam to play with. So I'm using my chipboard negatives from sticker sheets and Dusty Attic elements, all that stuff, as my foam lifter uppers, and I'm just going to go ahead and use that so that way I can play with all of my goodies. Now, the best part about that chipboard is it is the exact same height as the wood veneer. So it's about 1/16 of an inch. So it's not too high. It's not too short. It's just right. A little bit of this and a little bit of that, says Goldilocks. So I'm just going to go ahead and go for it, you guys. I am peeling the sticky adhesive back off of my wood veneer, and I am just going for it. Now, the sprays that I used for my wood veneer, I used a Dilutions that is called Mushy Peas. I just love saying Mushy Peas. And then I also used Dina Wakley in Fir, F-I-R. So it's a very dark, deep green. And then when I sprayed the dark, deep green while it was still wet, I went ahead and sprayed Mushy Peas on top. So that way it would help move it around and blend really well. So I have that highs and lows all over my leafy bits. So, and to cover up, like I said, I'm going to have to figure something else out now. And so I decided to cascade my leaves and flowers down my page. And to cover up that green blob, I'm just going to go ahead and put one over on the right, just a small, cute little cluster to hide that little spot. And it just went away that fast. Ta-da! It's all gone. But I didn't get the design I had in mind. It just wasn't what I was going for. But then again, I really do like how it ended up. It was a surprise. This is your layout, and what it's going to look like, which I thought was okay. It's just a fun, fanciful layout about my puppy and how that I just love his company, in all honesty. It's not really a meaningful layout. It's not really, anything except for the fact that I just wanted to use these elements, and I have a cute picture of my puppy trying to stay warm underneath the sink in our kitchen while I'm watching the kids get on the school bus. In all honesty, that's the story of the layout. But it's a fun layout, and when you have a black dog, you get to use pretty much any color under the sun. Now, could I have used pink to accent my socks? No. That's going to be a hard no, because I would never do that. In fact, I ignored my socks really well. And yes, Cindy, I do own pink socks. I own 3 pairs, in case you're curious. And I'm sorry, you guys. It's kind of a running joke about me and pink, so I apologize if it goes a little too far. But I do love the addition of adding these brown tickets. I feel like it really plays well off of my brown mat that is in our kitchen, as well as our brown flooring, which isn't brown anymore. It looks like I need new photos because this is the flooring that flooded last year. No, that was this year. It flooded in May of this year. And we had to rip it all up and replace it. And now we've got this gorgeous gray, and the texture on the new flooring is just beautiful. Oh my gosh. And the puppies love it a lot more because it does have texture and it's not so slick. Before, they used to be very petite when they came down the stairs and then stepped on the flooring because they used to slide right across. In fact, our corgis loved it. They would jump from the second step and slide on their bellies all the way across the floor. But our big dogs didn't like that. They would step very gently down on the floor so they wouldn't fall and trip on themselves. And now that the floor is textured, it's almost like they've forgotten that they needed to do that because they don't have that danger of slipping anymore. So they seem to love it a lot more than the flooring that we did have. So anyways, just a fun little layout. Like I said, it doesn't need any journaling. It doesn't need anything. I call my puppy, but he is, I want to say, about 7 years old. So he's not a puppy, but he's my puppy. Actually, he was I know I've said this multiple times, but he was my husband's hunting dog. And truth be told, animals pick their owners. There is nothing to say about that. Animals pick their owners, and this one picked me. My husband would take him out and try to get him to fetch, try to get him to do anything other than just eat, and he couldn't do it. And I pick up a ball, and all of a sudden, I have him fetching in an afternoon. And he does everything for me. He, follows me everywhere. He's pretty close to being a guide dog, actually, because I can go up the stairs and he stays right with me to the point where I can touch his back and he walks me up the stairs. So he's a very good dog. He just doesn't listen to anybody but me. So anyways, that is my layout for today. I did have a blast just using elements. I love doing layouts that help me use a lot of embellishments, but don't look like I'm crowding my layout with a lot of embellishments. So I'm very happy to have given this a try, really. To take an idea and put it on paper is really hard. And so I'm glad that I started it. I'm glad that I messed up, so I had to go a different route, because now that I think about it, I'm not really sure if I would enjoy seeing all the film strips filled in. So I do like how it turned out, even though, it's just a fun layout about my puppy and how much I love him. All right, you guys, be sure to check out all the links down below. I have some links for Paw Your Way into our Heart Gals that are playing and creating layouts about their love of furry animals, and then the 2 links down below for Scraptember 2023. And I will check y'all later. Bye, you guys.